The next question will be, how should we fund the fight against corruption? How much money has this administration actually released in the fight against corruption? How much money has this administration released to the Presidential Advisory Committee, who's supposed to be advising him on dealing with corruption? How much of that money is actually provided by donors and outside bodies? So if it's really a priority, why is our government not voting the kind of money that is required to see the change happen? So let's assume all of those things have been done. Then you expect to start seeing tactics being unfolded, and then a lot of effort being expended in order to implement the strategy. Instead, we have not seen the vision, we have not seen a strategy, we have not seen stakeholder engagement, we have not seen a clear operational plan, but we've seen a lot of tactics being unfolded and a lot of effort. Tactics and effort without the rest, it is very questionable how much sustainable change is therefore possible. Because without the whole thing building together, you can't build the momentum. It cannot be President Buhari who is the only person in Nigeria who is tired of corruption. All you need to do is go back to the polls. How many Nigerians actually voted on the platform of change? How many Nigerians actually said, come in and fight corruption? But the problem of the lack of communication from the president is that it has made the opposition and other people who would like to create some form of mischief to say that because you're fighting corruption, life is now hard for us. So some time ago, some people started the hashtag, bring back our corruption. Because people say, what was a mudu of rice selling for before you started fighting corruption? How much is it now? What was petrol price like before you started fighting corruption? How much is petrol now? And because he has said nothing and he has inspired no one to suddenly come behind him, it makes it easy for those who would like to divert attention away from the real issues to then hide behind this kind of talk. So, how well has this administration done in the fight against corruption? All that people are left to decide, therefore, is how many convictions. So, someone with the former chief of the Massa was convicted. Bravo. And how many other people? You understand? People are left to then use those kind of metrics to judge the fight against corruption, as though that is all that has been achieved, because there has been a lack of communication. So except somehow the president radically changes his approach to communicating change, I don't know anywhere in the world where change was successfully brought about without communication. I cannot name one single instance. So I don't know how our president is going to succeed in getting the people behind him, or rather in keeping the people behind him, because the people solidly voted for change initially, but people are saying, is this the change we voted for? Because the whole rationale behind his actions and the rationale behind what he's trying to do, most people seem not to understand. And therefore, some of his strongest allies are being turned into enemies, simply because they don't know what he's doing. I think this is one area that the new administration has to carefully reconsider the way it is engaging. So if I'm going to give this administration a mark, the very best I will do is a 3. And I'll say even between a 2 and a 3 in the fight against corruption. I know the president would like to have between a 4 and a 5. But looking at it realistically, with the lack of strategy, the lack of coordination involved in the fight against corruption, I'm afraid, it's only my opinion anyway, I would say it's between a 2 and a 3 maximum.